Dentistry John, what's up, man? Thanks for coming on the pod. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Of course. How was your day? You had school today?
Yeah, we had school today. We had our occlusion lab and our prosthodontic lab, and everything went pretty well.
Good. Good. Now just like people listening, let's just break this down. I know what school you're at, UMKC. Just what year are you? What undergrad you went to? Dental school right now? Stuff like that. Let's go through
So
it.
yeah, I'm a D1 at UMKC School of Dentistry here in Kansas City. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I went to the University of New Mexico there.
Oh
And
wow.
it was kind of a big change to move out here.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's a lot. Wait, are you born and raised in New Mexico?
Yeah, born and raised in New Mexico.
Wow, that yeah. So you did make a little bit of a switch there, because Missouri. Well, you're right in the middle of America, right? Maybe towards the East Coast, but not on
Yeah,
the East Coast, obviously, right?
yeah.
Good stuff. What can we chat about tonight? Where can we go?
Well, I mean, I was kind of curious about how you started up the Students of Dentistry Instagram account, and kind of how you got into the oral surgery residency,
Sure.
things like that.
Yeah. So years ago, this is around the middle of D1 year of dental school. I was at Stony Brook Dental School. So this is in 2017, 2018. 2017, 18 is when it started. Um, that was Students of Dentistry. My buddy Sean Czar and I, we really kind of put our minds together, and we decided let's feature dental students and their story. And there were others involved early on, but after maybe a year, it just, it was Sean and I's priority to really keep it going. And I mean, I still post on that account to this day. We have other people helping us out and stuff because the team's grown a lot bigger and we're doing other projects with it. But really started. Let's just, we're in a certain time period where everyone wants to share their story, and I think it's a great idea to share the story. And it grew into there's a big pre-dental focus with the pages. After a year, we created Elite Dentist to be the dentist account, Top Dental Practices, which is our dental practice account and owners and stuff. We even went further to make Elite Veterinarians. We made it Top Attorneys, Top Law Firms, Top Law Students, Elite Physicians, Top Medical Practices, although Top Medical Practices never took off because the medical side of healthcare bought up everything. It's too monopolized now. So the smaller
Oh,
medical practices are just so far and few that people aren't submitting to feature their thing. They're all owned by the big monopoly corporations now, um,
okay.
which is interesting because that started 20 years ago from the medical side of healthcare, and now we're seeing that big time starting roughly several years ago in dentistry, and it's just interesting to see how history travels over time. Um, so actually, I went even further: top wineries, top breweries, and top cafes. So that's a different entity, and I'm running top wineries myself. I do that every day.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how that all started. Oral surgery. It started in my during undergrad. It was right in between junior and senior year. I was working. I met a couple dentists at the gym. One of them an oral surgeon. I shouted all of them. Really liked oral surgery. Worked for him. I graduated college, took the DAT, worked for the oral surgeon in my gap year as a surgical assistant, and then just pushed for it in dental school and CBSE externships. It was tough getting externships. That's actually a story. I had 4 or 5 scheduled. I had LSU, Cook County, LIJ, Montefiore, and I forget, there was a fifth one scheduled. LSU, Cook County, and LIJ canceled because of COVID, so I was only left with Montefiore. And then I pushed to get one with NYU and VCU. I got, so it was uphill battle there. Got them though. Very fortunate for that. It was a good experience. Yeah. So, are you interested in oral surgery?
I am interested in it. Kind of same story. I was interested in it in undergraduate. I did the majority of my shadowing in oral surgery offices.
Hmm.
And I just always had an interest in it. It was so cool to go in and see these invasive surgeries in a private practice.
Right. Right. Of course.
Yeah,
That's everyone typically, it's pretty cool to see. Everyone loves loves to see oral surgery and the invasiveness and all the blood in the guts, from afar. It's pretty good, and we'll see. As you go through dental school, we'll see how that kind of translates. And I'm always here in the DM. I get back to you all the time, and any questions you have through that, of course, I'm open. Why the students dentistry page? What are you curious about there?
Well, so I kind of stumbled across it on accident. I created my Instagram account just at the beginning of the semester. I had seen a couple other accounts like it, and I was just like, well, I kind of want to start this and kind of document my journey. And it'd be a kind of a way to remember all of my dental school years.
Oh yeah,
And
oh yeah.
then, yeah, and then after I graduate, I would kind of pivot it into a dental account and kind of showcase my practice. But then I kind of started getting more and more into the community, and I started noticing students of dentistry. And I see all these posts on it, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, it'd be pretty cool if I could get on there. And then one day I posted a video, and I invited students of dentistry to collaborate on it. And then I got the notification on my phone when I was on my way to a friend's house. We had just taken a bunch of exams, and it was just kind of a time to hang out, like have some fun. And I got the notification, students of dentistry accepted your invitation. And it made me really happy, made me really excited. So after that, I've just been kind of making more videos, trying to showcase what I'm doing here. And I've been really liking it, honestly.
Awesome. You got to keep
Yeah.
going. You're getting better at it too.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you. I
fun to
appreciate
watch. That's definitely the biggest thing. I mean, definitely document your journey and use social media to do that. It's going to help you get yourself connected with other dental students, other people throughout the country, the world, even. As you go, I would even look into things you could post on LinkedIn. I see you have the TikTok page. That's good. That's great for like less editing and more raw content. Instagram is much more edited content, shorter clips and stuff. Instagram has the audio over it that gets linked into certain trends versus TikTok. The audio doesn't necessarily link into trends and stuff. Yeah, it's cool to play around with it. And as you go through your dental school and then potentially training and then your career, you'll see how I think everyone I talk to, they say it just opens up more doors.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it certainly has already, because I've met different people, peers of mine and colleagues just in the same year, same program, but also medical students, veterinarian students.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's kind of doing things like this. So it's really cool to kind of see what those programs are like, what other dental schools are like. And that's really been recently that I've been able to kind of see those other types of people.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it's also interesting to look behind the curtain, if you will, and see like what's kind of the purpose of this person taking that photo or making that video, and obviously, trying to gain likes, trying to gain followers and stuff. But what's the intention? What's the goal of that? What's their objective? Is it to sell 10% discounts for DAT booster? Is it? So I always like to look to see like what are they doing here? So
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I noticed that too. Yeah, it's kind of you kind of try to see what the motive is behind it.
it's important because you get to look at someone's personality. If they're just trying to sell stuff to other people, that's one thing. You're just a vehicle for passing on, gaining attention, and then passing on someone else's product. Versus starting your own scrub line. I mean, that guy, he's a Florida resident. What's the name of the not Medico, Mim Scrubs for
Mim Scrubs.
minorities in medicine. I think that was excellent that he took the initiative. He created his own scrub line. I think they're up there within the top three. Like Figs is by far and away number one. They got into not dental, but they got into social media influencing right when it started to take off, and they picked off all the right people at the right time. Mim Scrubs they're definitely in the top three, I would say, but they kind of leaned back. Maybe it's because he's so preoccupied. I think he's in like a pediatric residency or something.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
it's cool to kind of watch trends and understand how historically things move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else? What else is going on, man? What can I help you with?
Um, well, do you have any advice for a class one occlusal prep and resin composite?
The class ones, actually, even crown preps. I remember that there was a sequence of burrs that I used to go through. I would try and get the reduction in down to, because most of the reduction is like right around that 1.5 although for fillings, for crown preps are different from fillings, right? The restorative aspect. But if you go through the drill sequence, my favorite one was the 556 burr, because it'll get you to a
556.
really nice, hard right angle. And while you don't necessarily want hard right angles within the filling itself, the restoration itself, not the restoration, the prep itself, because that could cause fractures of the enamel and dentin, it's a really good way to start, because how thick is the 556? It's a millimeter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would use that as a gauge. You use that as your baseline, and maybe you even under prep it to 0.8. But now you know exactly where you are. It's an exact right angle, and then you use one of the other finishing burrs to either polish the crown prep really well, and then it looks pretty, almost like the light can shine off it. Or if you're doing a prep, you use one of the other burrs. I'm not familiar. I mean, I'm 3 years out of using burrs, prep and crown prep burrs, but you could use those other ones to follow. So that was always my trick. Like, use something you know exactly
Okay.
what the width of this is, right? And then
Yeah.
tweak it from there. And I was fortunate enough by, you practice that a few times, you have your go-to burrs, and the CDCA was not much of a challenge. I mean, not to over, but like when you start using that as like, find the burrs to use your baseline, you practice them, the CDCA becomes much more attainable without having to stress as much.
Okay. Okay, cool. Good to know.
You
Yeah, because we have
know
a
the CDCA?
practical. What's that?
Do you know the CDCA?
I'm not familiar with it. No.
That's like the exam where, I don't know if it's all 50 states, but most of the states, that's kind of like your board exam where you can legally practice in most of the
Okay.
states in the country. Now, you do have to do your residency, so to say, but it's going to be one of the boards that you'll be taking. Yeah.
Okay. And so is that just like right after you finish dental school, that's the exam that you take?
Oh, no, that's the last year. That's
Okay, I
in the
see.
last year of dental school. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there's like a class 2 prep portion. I think you got to do the filling. There's a perio portion. There's a written portion, not written, but multiple choice portion. And I think there's something else that I'm missing. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think some of the upperclassmen have been taking those recently at our school.
Yep. That's the one. That's the
Yep.
one. Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, we have a practical tomorrow, our first operative practical. So that's kind of why
Oh,
I asked there.
are you ready?
Yeah, I feel ready. I'm actually going to the lab right after this to practice just a little bit more, kind of hone my skills a little bit, but
Oh,
I'm
very
feeling pretty
nice.
good about it.
Good, good, good. That's very important. And then is that one of those classes where they have the didactic portion and the clinical portion? This is the clinic, but do you have didactic too?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so like where you are in the didactically, and wherever the clinical portion goes, the preps, the restorations, you can kind of get a gauge on where you need to be didactically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always good. Yeah. Yeah. So as far as, wait, so where are you right now in dental school? What's like your next, so you're in sim lab. That's sim lab, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So, and you are interested in oral surgery potentially. You have any idea, CBSE, externships, have you thought about that yet, or are we getting ahead of ourselves?
So I attended a meeting with the oral surgery club at my school and just kind of learned the basic layout of how you can kind of do all these things while in dental school. And I was thinking if I was going to try to do this, I would try to do those probably third year, try to take the CBSE, study for it. I heard a lot of people studying for it in their second year, but that's second year, especially the spring semester, is very heavy for us here. So I'm not sure I'll have time for that. I'll kind of gauge it as I go. Um, and
Yeah.
maybe like D2 year, start trying to reach out for externships if I choose to go down that route.
Yeah, I mean, reaching, I would try and get that CBSE out of the way first before going
Okay.
externships. But yeah, you could plan them at the same time. But remember, you could do all the externships in the world and never get in. But if you get the CBSE score you need and don't get any externships in, you still got a shot. So just
Okay,
something
I
to keep in
see.
mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your personal route for taking the CBSE? Kind of what year did you do it in?
Yeah, yeah. So after D1 year, that was the first time I took it, but I didn't study for it that time. I wanted to see what it was. Like what the heck is this thing? And it's completely different from any exam you take in dental school. It's a medical school based exam. It's kind of like step 1. It is step 1. Just it's a little bit shortened. And
Okay.
so I took it one time. You have 6 tries to take it. So taking it once without studying is like, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
And then I took it again after D2 year. And now that's the time I really studied for it. I studied probably a hard 3 months. And unfortunately, I was still kind of adjusting and molding my study strategy along the way. So it wasn't 3 months hard, productive, efficient studying. It was kind of like, this isn't really helping my score. Let me try this. Oh, this is too time consuming. Let me try this. So I
Hmm.
took it then after summer of D2 year, starting, and then I took it a third time. I studied one more month for it before the February 8th exam, D3 year. And that was when I got the score. I still didn't get the one I wanted, but I got what I needed.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're in oral surgery residency, so
So
I
it
guess it worked out.
worked. Yeah, yeah. But I would definitely, I would recommend take that test so you know what this monster looks like before you're sizing it up. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And so how did you kind of balance your didactic and clinical lab classes while you were studying for this?
yeah. So D1 year, and I always recommend this to students. D1 year, you really want to try and get down efficient and effective studying. Effective studying, obviously, getting higher scores, right? But then efficient studying is trying to get those high scores while slowly minimizing how much time it actually takes you to study for it. So I tried a bunch of different strategies in college. I used to write everything down. Write everything down 5 times. I got it. I'll rewrite it on the exam. That's it, right? There's no
Hmm.
time for that in dental school, as you know. It's the equivalent of 32 credits a semester. So what I was doing initially was writing it down on a piece of paper and folding it in a column and kind of doing question answer question answer. But I
Okay.
was missing out on the figures that you really need to understand clinical dentistry or anatomy, for example. Worked great in pharmacology. It's all memorization, right? But missed out on a lot of like the clinical visuals, right? So I ended up figuring out Quizlet was my thing, and it's Quizlet Plus. It used to be Quizlet Premium, now it's Quizlet Plus, and using the figures over that, and then just repetitions, still just repetitions. So instead of writing everything out, wasting all that time, just get in a Quizlet that 5 different times, exhausting it until you use all the starred ones up. And that
Hmm.
was what really got actually, it helped me get higher scores because of the amount of repetitions and then more effective, efficient studying because I was getting it down. I was getting through, by the time I finished dental school, I was doing a deck of Quizlet cards twice and I was getting 90s. So I was like,
Oh, man.
that was it for me. And everyone's different. Maybe Anki's your thing. There's another program someone at the dental school is telling me about. I forget the name of it, but it's similar thing. Flashcards um, with figures, diagrams, X-rays, maybe. So that was that. That's what helped me get better at studying, and then I could focus more on the clinical side. I found that the clinical side of SimLab stuff, the hand skills were okay. So I would just try and study as much as I could, and the clinic aspect came. Um,
Okay, I see.
After that finally came, so then you start to add on actual clinic, seeing patients. That's a lot. That was D3 year. And then
Hmm.
what really came in handy there was that app called To Do. It's a free app by Microsoft that instead of rewriting my schedule every single day in a book, same thing, go digital. Let's use the technology we have today. It synchronizes between iPad, iPhone, and the laptop. So I could go to clinic and I could write down, oh, I need to get this arch ready for that or this crown ready for this patient. I got to get um, they need extraction of 2 teeth. I need to go to oral surgery and get that appointment scheduled. All into the phone. It's I don't know if it's HIPAA protected or not. That's on Microsoft, but that was that was the best way to manage the daily routine of studying for tests, exams a week out, studying for stuff, going to classes, preparing for patients, exercising, workouts and stuff,
Hmm.
and then managing obviously side project stuff like students of dentistry. So that was the key. Then I still use that app to this day, all day long.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's funny because I actually recently started using Microsoft to do as well, and I've
Oh
really been
yeah.
liking it. Yeah.
Good. And then you could change the backgrounds to like the
Oh, yeah.
beach, to the forest one.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and
Let
then
me see what I have
have you
mine
figured
on.
out you could literally have things repeat on every first Sunday of the month kind of thing. You know, it's a calendar, a to-do list, a folder organizer, all in one. It's been pretty outstanding.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because you mentioned like the technology aspect. About 3 years ago, I was still using like 4 notebooks in my backpack and like walking around with this 20-pound backpack. And
Oh,
then I finally got an iPad, and that just
change
changed
your life.
everything. Oh yeah.
It's crazy, yeah, and it's so important. Like we have this technology, and I know a lot of teachers still teach the traditional way. They're like, write this down, do this, and that. And I get it, but we do kind of have to. I was so against using technology. I got to write everything. I did the textbooks and 4 notebooks in the backpack too. Organic chemistry, biology, all those.
Hmm.
Um, Biochemistry. Walking around with those textbooks, it's just not necessary. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
good stuff. Do you work out at all?
Yeah. I actually just got back from the gym. I used to be a big runner, really into that. Kind of stopped for a while, but I'm trying to get back into it right now.
Good, good. Do it.
Yeah.
Actually, I just ran today earlier before too.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I see on your page you do like triathlons and races?
No, I actually don't.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
do a 5K once in a while, like the Turkey
Oh, gotcha.
Trot or the St. Patty's Day thing, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Are you doing triathlons? You do like 5Ks, marathons?
I used to do a lot of 5Ks in high school. I was on a cross country team, and we ran those like once a month.
Mm.
But before going to dental school, I had to kind of, get some fun out of me before I kind of came here and settled down. But I did a marathon and a 100-mile bike race.
Wow,
Yeah.
100-mile bike race. How long did that take?
Took me 11 hours. Yep.
So that was like, what time did it start? 7 a.m., 6 a.m.
It started at 8 and I finished, it was sunrise to sunset.
That's kind of nice though. That must have been a different experience, you know?
Oh yeah. And it was really nice because like now when I'm struggling in lab or I've been studying something for 7 hours, I kind of think back on it and I'm like, okay, if I can do that, I can do this.
That's great. That's a great
Yeah.
analogy.
Yeah.
Huh. I like that. What other things have you gone for where it's like a challenge?
Well, those are the two main ones I would say. Um, just because I did them like right before dental school. I tried to start a mountain biking club at my undergraduate university,
Yeah.
but it ended up not taking off because it was still COVID times.
Oh.
But I got it all
Mhm.
set up, kind of got like the whole thing going, but then it just kind of fizzled out after that,
Hmm.
which was kind of
Well, good
sad, but
start.
it's
Yeah,
still there.
like even if during COVID you're in the great outdoors, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think that would be a good idea.
So you exercise a lot?
Yeah. Actually, I'm still in the first week. I took off from touching weights for 4 months. You gotta switch things up, and then I also switch it up based around the schedule of residency. And I'm in my first week of starting up again, so it feels good to be holding the weights again.
Oh, gotcha.
Although it's not lifting. I don't. There's no. I can't afford a gym membership right now. So in the basement here, we got a little fitness center. They have dumbbells up to 50. There's no barbell. It's like one treadmill. There's a pull up bar. There are 2 benches. No bench press. No squat rack. But so I use dumbbells up to 50 and do it. Do what I can. That's all you
Yeah.
can do. You know.
That sounds
Yeah.
like what we got at my apartment complex. It's just a simple gym, treadmills, some cycles.
So, but you're in an apartment complex. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I actually got super lucky. I live in a 3-bed, 3-bath,
Hmm.
um, and the rent's not horrible for the area.
Really? What's the rent looking like over there? Do you have a one
Well,
bedroom or you have a studio?
no, it's 3 bedrooms. It's actually like an 1,800 square foot apartment.
Oh. So the apartment has 3 bedrooms within it. Are you sharing it with 2 other dental students?
Yeah, yeah. So they're two classmates of mine, and we just met through our group chat for our class
Hmm.
whenever it first started. I just kind of went on there and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm from out of state. Anybody looking
Yeah.
for a roommate?" And so I met these two guys. One of them is actually from New Mexico as well, but we had never met before coming
Hmm.
here. Yeah, which was kind of cool because we went through all the same classes and we never saw each other.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It's weird because I was the president of the Predental Society, um, and I
Huh.
think he came to a couple events, but we had just never met. And then he
Huh.
was like, "Hey man, let's get coffee." Like, I think we should be roommates.
Great. And then, well, then you met him there, and then you had someone that you knew, and then the third student.
Yeah, so I just met him through our group chat,
Hmm.
and we did a FaceTime before we all came out here, and we looked at like 8 different apartments, and this one was on the last of our list because it had like a 1-star review
Hmm.
on it because of theft. I guess this
Oh,
area is not very good, but we've been loving it so far. It's awesome.
oh, that's great. But oh
Yeah.
man, so yeah, you got to be careful over there then.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have like a pretty good parking structure, which is
Yeah.
pretty safe. I guess just like the street is not so good. Um,
Okay, so you have a parking garage, or you just park on the street?
I park in the garage.
Okay, so you got a garage, so hopefully it's a
Yeah,
little safer over there.
yeah. But we live near Union Station,
Hmm.
um, and I don't know if you heard about the Kansas City parade last
No,
week.
no, what happened?
Well, so the Chiefs won the Super Bowl,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was on Wednesday, and we actually had the day off because where the parade route is so close to the dental school that no patients or anybody could really make it there because of all the traffic.
So you had a holiday.
Yeah, we got a holiday for the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, which was really funny. I didn't think it was going to happen, but
It's
it ended up
wild.
going through. Yeah,
Great, and then you have President's Day this week, so you've had a couple 3-day weekends coming your
yeah,
way.
yeah.
It's
It,
gotta
it was
feel
pretty
pretty
funny,
good.
but it ended up the parade was pretty fun. We went to it, but it ended up not so good. There was a shooting at it,
Oh,
and we were pretty close to it.
you were pretty close to the shooting, so you heard like gunshots and stuff.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy. Everyone's okay, I hope.
yeah. I mean, the one that happened near us, everyone was okay.
Hmm,
Nobody. I mean,
hmm.
there was an ambulance, and I think somebody got taken away, but they were totally fine. I think they made a full recovery, but we
Oh
were out
my.
on our patio hanging out, and we hear the shots, and so we just ran inside and just
Yeah,
kind of hunkered down.
that's scary, man. That's nice. You have
Yeah,
a patio. That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. The patio is a nice touch.
Yeah, and you got that warm weather ahead too, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that warm weather because it was -20 here about a month ago.
What? Negative
Yeah,
20?
yeah. It was insane.
That is wild. Yeah. Oh man, what do you think about the whole the controversy with the game where it was planned or something? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, so I don't know a whole lot about football. I'm not like
Hmm.
super into it. I mostly just watch the Super Bowl. But living in Kansas City, you pretty much have to be a Chiefs fan. Like everybody talks about it. There'll be a game on Sunday, and that Monday, everyone's like, "Oh, did you catch the game? Like, what'd you think of
Yeah.
that?" And so I've been getting more into it, but I was seeing things about like predicted scores and
Yep.
like Travis Kelsey proposing to Taylor Swift,
Yep. Yep.
but
I
that didn't
saw it
happen.
too.
So I don't know.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Maybe next year if they stay together that long. I'm giving them. So I was saying if they lose, I'm giving them 3 months till they break up, and I was saying if they win, 9 months. So I said that before the game. I'm going to hold that up. I'm giving them 9 months together. I don't think they're going
All
to make
right.
it to the next
All right,
past
nine
that.
months.
But we'll see. We'll see. I don't mean to be pessimistic. I just know Taylor Swift likes to move on.
Mhm. Yeah. So
uh,
are you pretty into sports?
um, I mean, I like watching. I played basketball in college. I don't really like watching the NBA. I think it's ridiculous. It's all like one-on-one 3 points and dunks. It's not much team play, which I was or I like the old Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar like combos, and now it's it was like superstars, if you will, but it was like Larry Bird wasn't a dunker or a just played hard and he knew how to shoot. I don't know. I
Mhm.
kind of like that whole traditional NBA rather than current day. But no, I do like watching. I like watching football, but I never played, so I don't know. What about you? You played sports?
No, I didn't. I played soccer for a while, growing up, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did track, swimming, and cross country in high school and didn't really continue any of those into college.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Well, I gotta get ready for tomorrow and eat dinner. Anything else I can help you out with? Anything I could any other questions you got?
Not at the moment, no. I appreciate you for having me on this. It was really, really interesting, and I was really happy to hear more about your story, more about Students of Dentistry, and just
Yeah,
kind of
dude. Of
how you
course.
got to where you are now.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming. I know. Look, you got that exam tomorrow, so it's time out of your day too. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
And dude, you got me on Instagram. Anything I could help with, just send me a DM. Like we always, chat here and there. But good luck on the exam tomorrow. I hope you crush that one, and maybe the burrs that you find a little help with that sequence.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
All right, dude. You have a good night and good luck.
All right, you as well. Thank you again.
Thanks.